Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura if you are new here, and today we are doing part 2 of our fall clean and decorate. And you're probably wondering why I'm standing in the kitchen by a pot doing a fall clean and decorate, but I wanted to also include a hopefully really yummy recipe. As we know, soup season is upon us, even though it's still super hot where I am. I just thought it would be a good idea to include a nice little soup recipe in this video too. It's very fall-ish, I would say too. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right guys, so we're first gonna start by getting some olive oil in our pan. This has already been heating up. And I got this from Dollar Tree and it always falls off, so I hold on to it. So I really liked it at first, but then I discovered it's kind of annoying and it doesn't put out a whole lot of olive oil. So anyway, we're making do. Probably have to get a new one of those. That's fine. And then I already cut up some carrots, celery, and onion. You're supposed to have a cup of each. I hardly had any onion. It's probably like maybe a half or like a third of a cup. But that's fine. We're just going to go with what we have. And so we're going to saute this for 7 to 10 minutes. I guess I should probably say what kind of soup we're making. So we are doing a lemon, ginger, turmeric, chicken and rice soup. So I know it sounds like a lot of ingredients, but I am very excited about this. I think it's going to be super yummy. So I'm just going to set a timer for 7 minutes and just continue to cook this up. And then once we're done, we'll come back and move on to the next step. And I'm going to try and get a few other things done while this sautés. Probably switch my laundry loads, maybe do a few dishes, but I'll come back and keep stirring it to make sure it doesn't burn. Alright guys, let me fix that. Next I'm going to add in my seasonings. So we're going to need garlic. We need about a tablespoon of that. This was frozen in my freezer. I just like to keep it on hand like that so I can use fresh. I don't have to use powdered. I don't have fresh ginger, so we're going to use about a tablespoon of the minced ginger, which I don't know, that might be a little bit too much, but hoping it'll be fine. And then we're going to do, sorry, I'm looking over here on my paper, a teaspoon of thyme. Oh, that ginger is strong. Take a teaspoon of thyme, a teaspoon of rosemary. Sorry, whoops, just got that one, so I had to open it up. There's that, and then we need half a teaspoon of turmeric. Turmeric is way in the back. So then half a teaspoon of this. And you could probably do more exact measurements, but I feel like with cooking, if you get close, you're usually pretty good. And then a fourth of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I hope this doesn't make this, cayenne's not, well, I hope it doesn't make it super spicy, so I'm just going to try to do a tiny bit. I might be wrong. Sorry, just like all came up in my face a little bit. I want to turn the fan on, but I feel like it's already super noisy in here with the dryer going. And sometimes the air kicks on. So we're going to just saute that for about a minute. And then we're going to add in, oh, that ginger smells so good. I love ginger and garlic. Put that aside. So I'm going to add in my rice that I've rinsed. You need a cup of rice, and then we're gonna do 6 cups of chicken broth. So I'm doing 2, right, I just did 2. And here's 4, I just don't have a big enough measuring cup, so that's why I'm doing this. There's 6 cups, and then I just like to do like the bouillon cubes. I feel like there's really no difference. They're usually like a little bit cheaper. And so one of these does makes 1 cup. So I'm gonna do 6 of them, and I just like to stick them in here, and they just cook with everything else, and things seem to turn out fine, I think. So like I said, we're just gonna go ahead and do that. And then we're also gonna put in our chicken, which I think is a little bit interesting. It didn't say to season it at all. I think I'm gonna season it with salt and pepper before I put it in here, because I know there's seasonings in the soup, but I feel like that's, like, honestly, salt and pepper is like the bare minimum, and I feel like I like things a little bit more seasoned sometimes. Some recipes I find they don't call for a lot of seasonings, but I like a lot of seasoning, like I said, so I'm just gonna give that a good stir, and then we're gonna add in our chicken. This is just a pack of chicken thighs, boneless. It's about a pound, I think. All this. I'm just grabbing my salt and pepper shakers. I have to wipe them off. We got chicken juice on them already. Just really get those seasoned. Flip it over to you on the other side. It's really wet in here. Don't know why. I did have these frozen, so that might be why. So just gonna add, whoops, add these in. Make me a little nervous, but we're doing what the recipe says. Turn you on the other side. Anyone else hate raw meat? Just me? I should have worn gloves, but honestly, I think about it when it's usually too late and I've already touched everything. Alright, so I'm gonna toss these in. And we are gonna go ahead and I think it said let it sit for 20 minutes with the lid on to make sure the the chicken and the rice is cooked thoroughly. I'm going to wash my hands. So I'm going to set a timer for 20 minutes. And I wanted to say another really cool thing about this recipe is that it's basically 1 pot. Like after this, we're pretty much done. I think we're just gonna shred up the chicken and then pretty much be done with it. So I'm pretty excited about that. It was super easy, pretty quick. My daughter did want to help me, but we didn't have enough time before she went to bed to do this. So I feel kind of bad because I do like when she cooks with me for the most part. Like, is she kind of in the way sometimes? Yeah, but I feel like she's so much more likely to try the things that I have made if she is part of like the process, and she can kind of see and help with that. Not always, but sometimes. So I'm hoping she will try this one. She's pretty fussy about what she eats, so we'll see about that. Okay, I stand corrected. So what you're gonna do is leave your pot uncovered, and you just want to bring it up to a boil, and then once you bring it up to a boil, put the lid on and let it simmer for 20 minutes. So I'm gonna, well, I can't cancel my timer, so I'm gonna bump it up to about 20 minutes. I'll probably add a few more minutes when it starts to boil, but we're just gonna wait for that to happen. And I'm going to disinfect my salt and pepper shakers because I touch them with chicken hands. And then I'm also going to try to clean up a little bit while I wait for this to finish. If this is good, I'm absolutely going to add this to my rotation, you could say, of soup recipes, because it was pretty quick, I'll be honest. And it's one pot, which is really cool because I don't really have a big enough kitchen, as you can see, to dirty a bunch of different pots and pans, so I'll be pretty excited about that. If you guys have a favorite soup recipe that you like to do every year around this time, I've already done tomato, and that was really good. Like a good homemade tomato soup with grilled cheese was honestly delicious. I was so happy to make that, and I was so happy to eat it. I did get a little tired of it towards the end, so I probably won't make it for a while, but it was really good. It was a tomato basil soup. I didn't record myself doing it. I don't remember what I was doing, probably just time constraints or whatever, but it was really tasty. I did find a recipe for like a pizza grilled cheese, and so I'd really like to try that. So I'm super excited to hopefully try that at some point. It's just, my daughter doesn't really eat sandwiches. She doesn't like cheese, except for like if it's on pizza or something like that. So it does make it a little bit harder to do things like that. So that's kind of disappointing, but all right. So our soup has come to a boil. So I'm gonna go ahead, make sure everything's covered. I'm gonna turn it down to lower. We're gonna simmer that, put the lid on, set my timer back to 20 minutes, and then we'll come back and check on it and see what it's looking like then. Alright guys, it's been, keep moving my camera over, I'm so sorry. It has been 20 minutes. This is smelling pretty good. It's looking pretty good. I can't wait to taste it. Ooh, sorry, that was a little hot. Still bubbling, so we're gonna put it on low. So now we're gonna take the chicken. I was gonna try to shred it in here, but honestly, with all the rice, I think I'm just gonna take it out. So let me grab a plate. Find chicken pieces. Got some rice on them. They're pretty much falling apart, so that's good. I feel like they'll be easy to shred up. So I'm probably just gonna take a couple, find the rest in a little bit, and just shred them. It says you can do this in a what am I thinking? Not food processor, but you can just shred it by hand or do whatever you like to do. Like, oh, with a mixer, I think is typically how you could probably do it too, but I feel like this is easiest. And honestly, these are kind of falling apart, and they were super small. So I probably forgot to say, but I think I did boneless chicken thighs, because I feel like, oh, sorry, that's a terrible sound. I feel like they're a little bit cautious about that. A little bit like more tender, and they don't get as dry, but you could honestly, I think the recipe said you could use either, so chicken thighs or breasts, so whatever you have on hand, you can go ahead and use. Dump this back in here. Pretty well shredded. I love how turmeric just gives soups like such a nice yellow color. There's another soup I make with turmeric in it, and it has like the same, even though it like stains your leftover dishes, it is pretty bright and vibrant. And I think turmeric is pretty good for you, if I'm not mistaken. I think we got all the big, it's a pretty big chunk. I can't wait to try this. I'm so excited. I hope it's really good. Make sure it's up. Shredding pretty nicely. Oops, losing some of it. Probably should have done this on a bigger plate, but I was honestly too lazy to get a bowl off of my bigger plates, and I was like, oh, I'll just use a smaller one and do it in sections, but it does create a little bit of a mess. I also probably should have got the chicken out with like a slotted spoon so I didn't get all the vegetables and rice, but you know what? We're making do with what we have and what we thought would work, so lessons learned, right? Okay. I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna try to get it a little bit smaller just because I'm gonna try to feed this to my daughter and my niece. Hopefully, these pieces will be small enough for them. Okay, got that done. So then we just need to add, this looks like the chicken's nice and tender and the rice looks pretty good. I'll taste test it here in a minute, but then we need about a tablespoon of parsley. That might be kind of a lot. That in. Oh well. Parsley's good, so it'll be fine. And then about a tablespoon of lemon juice. And you're probably supposed to use fresh lemon, but I think at least right now where I am, lemons are kind of expensive. Like I think I looked, and this is maybe me being a little bit dramatic, but I don't use them fast enough. I could make like fresh lemonade, which is delicious, but for like $4 or $5 for a bag of only 5 lemons, I don't feel like it's worth it. So, like I said, I'm just gonna keep using my real lemon juice for these kind of things. But I think for garnish, it would be really cool to do like a lemon slice if you have lemons on hand that you need to use up, or you wanted to buy them specifically for this recipe. So there you have it. I'm gonna go ahead and try it, and then I'll probably show it for you guys. Looks really hot. I should turn it off. That is good. I honestly want another spoonful, but dirty another spoon. I'm gonna get some veggies in this time. I thought it would have a little more of a stronger ginger flavor, but it really doesn't. Really hot. Not bad. It's a good mix of flavors. Let me show it to you guys really quick. So this is what it's looking like. Super delicious, really seasoned. I thought it was pretty good. Let me know if you guys try it. So I love starting out a good clean with a nice scented lit candle. I know candles aren't super good for our health, but I just love the smell of them, and I just really like having them lit. It makes me feel like my house is clean, even if it's not clean. But we are getting started with the rest of my living room, cleaning and decorating for fall/Halloween. So I pretty much got all the other side done. I did switch a few things around during this, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
So I'm just going to wipe this table off. It probably needs a good clean, checking behind for like spider webs or bugs or anything, and using my vinegar olive oil spray, which I absolutely love. And so I'm just going to try to figure out what items I want to put where. I actually have a pretty good amount of Halloween decorations. Halloween or fall, you could say. So I was pretty excited. I had some choices. I did have some things that needed batteries or had run out of, like the battery was dead. So like that pumpkin is supposed to light up, but I don't have, it needs new batteries. And so I need to get like a tiny little screwdriver. I have that. And then I did have some other lights that I didn't put up that I kind of wanted to, but there again, I have to have the little screwdriver, and I have a big one, but I don't have one, a little tiny one, so I'm gonna have to get that, and then I'll see where I want to put those lights. But this shelf just holds like a lot of my daughter's like craft supplies that honestly we don't use that much. I need to be better about doing that with her. I just feel like sometimes it's so hard and it can be really messy to clean up all of that, but like I said, I need to be better about that. So that's kind of where these things live right now. So I'm not going to decorate a whole lot on the bottom two shelves. It's going to be more higher up because I don't have as much stuff on those two shelves. All right, so this is what this one side table looks like, and then this is what the upper shelf looks like. I did forget to use one of the little pumpkins. It came with 4 instead of 3, and these are some craft ideas I'd like to do with my daughter. And then I also remembered I had those light up candles, so I put those up there. And then I also switched my pumpkin garland thing on my TV because I wanted enough to be able to do both of them. So I put my ghost one over here. I put some more lights up over here. And so then I'm just going to show you everything so far that I have done. I love decorating for fall and Halloween. This is definitely my favorite season. And so as I get more and more decorations, I get more and more excited. So I thought this year it turned out pretty good. Let me know what you guys think.
Hey guys, I'm back again here in my kitchen. I just wanted to do a really quick like fall snack for you guys, and so we're just gonna get started by doing that. So I'm first gonna get a sheet pan and light it with parchment paper. I am also preheating my oven at 275. And the fall treat or snack that we're gonna make today is a pretzel caramel apple bite sort of thing. Um, these look delicious, and last year I did a similar concept with like all the same ingredients, but it was like the pretzel bark, which I loved so much, but I wanted to try this as like a smaller, like more of a bite-sized snack. So I'm gonna line my pan with parchment paper, and then I'm gonna get some pretzels. So I got just the Snyder's like family size snap pretzels. I'm obviously not gonna use all of them, but I'm gonna try to use a good amount. I'm just gonna set these up on here. You could also do this, so I don't have Rolos like the candy, but it would honestly be so much easier if you got those to do with this, because you can just do the chocolate and caramel in one. But it's gonna be the pretzels, a little piece of caramel, and then I have Granny Smith apples that I'm gonna cut up, a couple of them, and then I'm gonna do, that one's busted, so I'm gonna eat it. And then I'm gonna do like a chocolate drizzle on top. Just melt some chocolate chips. I'm so sorry for the background noise. I really need to do laundry, and so my washer and dryer are going behind me. So that's why it's so noisy, and I think my air conditioning is on right now. So I'm hopefully gonna be able to cancel out some of that background noise when I edit this, but we will see. So I have that line nicely. I'm gonna grab my caramel. So I got these Werther's Original, and then I also got the Kraft caramels. I think the Kraft ones are gonna work better. To be honest though, I've eaten a lot of these already, so I might not have enough, but we'll see if we do. And if not, I'll probably do the Werther's, but I might just cut them in half. They're gonna be like less thick, but and honestly, I don't know how well they're gonna do in the oven, but hopefully they'll be okay. These are gonna take forever to open. You guys probably don't want to watch all of this, so I think I'll pause the video and then I'll bring you back when I am all finished, and I'll show you how it looks. Alright guys, I am almost done. I have about 6 of these left, so the color for these looks a lot different than the other one, so I don't know what that's about, but, and these are a little bit harder to get off the wrapper, but instead of cutting them, I decided just to kind of like push them into somewhat of a square shape, just because I thought these were like a lot like really long, but they're really not, and they're really like moldable. So I'm just gonna finish up this and then stick them in the oven. I think it's set for about 5 to 10 minutes, but I'm gonna keep a good eye on them just because I think they can go pretty fast. Those off the food. Some of these are really hard to get out. I lost a lot of caramel in one of these because it was so stuck to the wrapper. But I'm gonna be interested to see like if one of them tastes different or better than the other with the Kraft caramels and then with these. So then I'll know for the next time that I make this, because I hope it's good. I feel like it's not gonna be, bad at all because of the ingredients that we're using, but I wonder if one will taste better. Kind of curious. Kind of glad that I got these two. Okay, so now we're just gonna stick these in the oven for a couple of minutes. None of them fall. All right, so I'll see you back in a couple minutes. I forgot. I need to cut up my apples, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Because I want them to soak in some salt water for about 5 to 10 minutes. I think these are really old. I don't know. They might be rotten. I'll have to wait and see. So I just rinsed them off really quick. Right. Let's see. Oh, they look fine. I feel like these are a little bit hard, but it's okay. Actually, I should probably taste it and see if they taste any good before I put them all on there. Not bad. Sorry, I thought somebody knocked on my door. So I'm just going to cut these into little pieces to put on top. So my pretzels have about 2 minutes. Probably should take a look at them. Try mine. Okay, yeah, so the caramels are definitely melting differently. The Werther's looks done, but the other one doesn't look done, so I have to see what to do about that. I think I'm gonna put them in for a little bit longer. I think I'm gonna have to, honestly. So it said to cut up 3 apples, but I guess I could just cut up 3 and then just save the rest for another, like, and just eat them. I don't know, I think this might be enough. Okay, this might be a disaster. Let me just show you. So the one side is already melted and the other ones haven't yet. Not sure what I'm gonna do about that. I think I might leave them in for like another 2 minutes and then I'll just push down the apples and the caramel and see if they'll go down on the other side. Because I really can't leave those other ones in there for any longer. I think they're gonna be bad. But I need to soak this. I'm just gonna grab, I'm just gonna grab a container real quick. Put these in here. These are my other ones. I think I'm gonna do half a cup of water and, I might need a little more than that. I think it called for like a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna need a little more than a half cup. Probably just end up doing a full cup. This one is okay. Said about half a teaspoon, but that was for a half a cup, so I did probably a little more than that. Just gonna stir it around and hopefully it'll be fine. And then you want to rinse these after they have sat for about 5 to 10 minutes. Hopefully that will be fine. I'm going to take these out. They're definitely running over. My one caramel look a little bit stuck, but that's okay. Live and learn. Definitely live and learn. I think I will see if I can separate some of these. Yeah, definitely. Probably gonna lose some caramel here. Oh well, it's okay. Just figure, well, and maybe I should have cut these in half. That probably would have been a good idea. But like I said, live and learn. It's fine. Scrape up the caramel maybe and eat it just by itself. Trying to get these a little bit more separated from each other. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave those. That is delicious. Very good. And it looks like these are soft. So they'll be easy to put an apple slice in. All right, I'm gonna let my apple sit and I will come back. All right, guys, so, sorry, let me push this up a tad. So we've got our apples rinsed. We'll taste one. Don't taste salty at all, that's great. I also melted probably about like a half a cup of chocolate chips with some coconut oil to make it like a little bit more, I'm thinking drippy, but like a little bit looser so that I can drizzle it on top. You could put this in like a piping bag. I should probably do this side first. It's probably gonna get hard pretty soon. That's what like the recipe called for, but honestly, I'm probably not gonna do that. I just don't feel like putting in all of that work, even though it's probably not that much work, but we'll see. I don't know. Kind of disappointed this side didn't turn out. I just feel like they're gonna be hard to get up. We will cross that bridge when we get there. This one, all the caramel, and turn it over. There we go. These are definitely much easier. So if you try this recipe, I would suggest doing the Kraft caramel squares. I tried doing last year when I did this with the bark, I tried doing like caramel sauce and it did not work very well. But then like the caramel would get hard in the fridge. So I feel like that didn't work well either. So I'm hoping this will work well and it won't get too hard. Because honestly, I love caramel apples. It used to be like one of my, or something that I really loved. I wouldn't say it was like my favorite thing, but definitely delicious. But with my teeth now, I cannot as I age, I cannot bite into a caramel apple. It's just not for me anymore. So I feel like this is like a better version and a little less messy and probably still terrible for your teeth, but it only comes really once a year. So, all right, so all done with that. I did have a few pieces of apple left that I'll just snap on really quick. Go ahead and drizzle on some chocolate. I will probably need this to set though, so that kind of stinks. I'll probably have to put these in the fridge. Honestly, I would strongly recommend using the Rolos. I probably should have just gotten those, but a bag of Rolos was like $5, and I am cheap, and so I, to be honest with you, did not want to pay $5 for one bag because I didn't even know if it would make this many of these treats. So I told you I was going to drizzle this on, but honestly, I feel like that would be too, like it just wouldn't work. So I'm kind of just dolloping this on. And this recipe also called for like crushed peanuts, but I don't really like peanuts like on my desserts like this, so I'm going to leave that out. But that was also like a topping on here. I'm just gonna ixnay that. So we're just gonna finish these up. Hopefully they're not too messy. I did not read the end of the recipe, so I don't know if you pop these in like the fridge so the chocolate will set. I'm not sure. We'll just leave them out. I will probably put mine in the fridge to set because I need to go somewhere after this. So that's what I'm going to do. Hope everyone had a great weekend. By the time I post this, it'll probably be the end of the weekend. So, but it is currently Friday in my house right now when I am filming this. And like I said, I hope everybody had a great weekend. I'm so excited it's the weekend, finally. I feel like 2 days off is not enough. I wish we could advocate for 4-day work weeks. All right, we are all done. So I have a little bit of chocolate left. Might dip a couple pieces of apple in here. Eat that. Oh, I missed one. I kind of want to try one right now because they just look so good. And so I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do this one right here. Doesn't have a lot of chocolate on it, so I'm just going to drizzle a tiny bit more. So, cheers. Really, really good. Sweet, salty. Apple gives a little crunch, a little sourness. Delicious. Can't wait to snack on these all weekend long. So good. Alright, well, I should probably finish chewing. But I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you've gotten this far, you're amazing. I'm so grateful for you. Don't look at the chocolate on my hands, but I hope to see you in my next one. I'm hoping my next one will probably be like a kitchen clean. I'm gonna do a little bit of decorating in here, but I didn't want to put it in this video for it to be too much. But I'm hopefully gonna get that up next week. And like I said, hope you all enjoyed. I will see you in my next one. Bye for now.